heat shimmer dances across the golden horizon of the Masai Mara, a deceptive veil of beauty over a landscape forged in blood and bone. On the muddy banks of the Mara River, a lone wildebeest stands trembling. Its nostrils flare, catching the metallic tang of silt and the heavy, musky scent of ancient scales. Below the surface, a shadow massive, silent and patient, glides through the tea-colored water. Prehistoric maw lined with 66 interlocking daggers snaps shut on the wildebeest's muzzle. The sound is like a dry branch snapping, the sound of a life being claimed by the river. But this isn't a story of a victim. As the crocodile twists in its legendary death roll, a thunderous vibration shakes the earth. A Cape buffalo, 1,500 pounds of muscle and armored horns, charges from the reeds. It doesn't seek to eat, it seeks to defy. It slams into the crocodile's flank, a clash of titans that echoes across the plains. In the African savannah, there is no court of law, no appeals process, and no mercy for the slow. We call it the law of survival, but it is more than a rule. It is the very breath of the continent. Here, strength is a currency, speed is a lifeline, and instinct is the only compass that matters. People often look at the savannah and see a hierarchy with predators at the top. But look closer. Is the lion truly king when a single kick from a zebra can shatter its jaw, sentencing it to a slow death by starvation? The law of survival dictates that dominance is never absolute. It is a lease that must be renewed every single morning. Predators reign, yes, but they reign over a kingdom of survivors. Every prey species has spent millions of years refining its countermeasures. The gazelle has evolved a stop, a high-altitude leap, to show the cheetah, I have energy to spare, don't even try. This is a world of constant psychological warfare. Every encounter is a gamble where the stakes are everything. To survive here, you must be more than strong. You must be resilient. You must be willing to endure the unendurable. The Masai Mara is not just a location, it is a living, breathing organism. Stretching across southwestern Kenya, this vast ecosystem is defined by its rolling grasslands, its iconic acacia trees, and the life-giving veins of its rivers. But the Mara is also a cultural landscape. It is the ancestral home of the Masai people, whose scarlet shukas stand out against the green and gold. For centuries, the Mas have coexisted with the wild. Their heritage teaches us a vital lesson. Harmony is not the absence of conflict, but the balance of it. The Mara's biodiversity is staggering, over 450 species of birds and nearly 100 species of mammals. But this isn't a museum, it's a network. The grass feeds the wildebeest feeds the lion dies and feeds the soil, which in turn grows the grass. When you stand in the Mara, you feel the interconnectedness. The altitude thins the air, making every chase a test of lung capacity. The rivers aren't just water sources, they are borders, traps, and sanctuaries. It is a dynamic system where the removal of a single species could cause the entire house of cards to tumble. If the savannah has a ghost, it is the Nile crocodile. This is a creature that watched the dinosaurs rise and fall, and it didn't change because it didn't need to. It is the pinnacle of ambush design. Crocodile is a master of energy conservation. It can go months without a meal, its metabolism slowed to a crawl. But when the moment of opportunity arrives, it becomes a biological missile. Its hunting technique is defined by the weight. It can hold its breath for over an hour, submerged with only its nostrils and eyes, shielded by a nictitating membrane, breaking the surface. The power of its bite is unrivaled in the animal kingdom, up to 5,000 pounds per square inch. Once those jaws lock, physics takes over. The crocodile uses the water as its ally, dragging its prey into a medium where the prey is helpless. Yet, even this master of the river is a slave to timing. If it strikes too early, it reveals its position. If it strikes too late, the meal is gone. It is a life of extreme patience, rewarded by moments of explosive violence. Not everyone fears the crocodile. There are giants in the Mara that look at the river's master and refuse to blink. Enter the Cape buffalo and the African elephant. The Cape buffalo is widely considered the most dangerous animal for a hunter to face. They are Black Death. When a buffalo approaches the water, it doesn't do so with the skittishness of an antelope. It moves with a brooding aggression. If a crocodile dares to strike a calf, the herd doesn't scatter, they mobilize. They use their massive bossed horns to toss crocodiles like ragdolls. Then there are the elephants. An elephant is a fortress of intelligence and memory. They don't just survive, they dominate through sheer scale and social unity. A crocodile might be a threat to a baby elephant, but the matriarch's memory is long. She knows where the danger lies, and she has the strength to crush a crocodile's skull with a single stomp. These giants transform the narrative from predator versus prey to power versus power. Elephants do more than just occupy space, they shape it. They are the architects of the savanna. When the drought grips the land, elephants use their tusks and trunks to dig into dry riverbeds, reaching water hidden deep underground. Here is the irony of nature. By digging these wells, elephants provide a lifeline for the very crocodiles that would potentially threaten their young. These water holes become mini ecosystems. They allow fish to survive and crocodiles to remain hydrated during the lean months. This interdependence is a profound lesson in ecology. Even an animal as solitary and seemingly selfish as a predator relies on the charity of the giants. The elephants' movements also knock down trees, preventing the savanna from becoming a thick forest and maintaining the open grasslands that the great herds need to graze. Their every footprint is a nursery for smaller life forms. Every year, the Mara plays host to the greatest show on Earth, the Great Migration. Over 1.5 million wildebeest, accompanied by hundreds of thousands of zebras and gazelles, embark on a perilous trek in search of greener pastures. When they reach the Mara River, the atmosphere turns electric. This is the feast and chaos. The herds hesitate at the banks, knowing the terrors that wait. But the biological urge to move is stronger than the fear of death. When the first wildebeest jumps, the dam breaks. thousands plunge into the water. In the chaos, the crocodile finds its bounty, but the prey has a strategy: swamp the predator. By crossing in such massive numbers, the chance of any single individual being caught is statistically low. The water turns into a churning mass of dust, splashing, and desperate cries. It is a lottery of life where the winners reach the other side and the losers become the fuel for the river. Survival in the Mara is a matter of choose your weapon. Different species have evolved radically different toolkits. The wildebeest, their weapon is the crowd. They are the swarm of the Savanna. Their survival is tied to the collective movement. The zebra, they use visual confusion. Those black and white stripes aren't for camouflage against trees, they are for dazzle camouflage. In a moving herd, a lion cannot distinguish where one zebra ends and another begins, making it impossible to target a specific individual. The baboon, their weapon is intelligence and communication. A baboon sentry perched in a fever tree provides a literal eye in the sky. Their barks and alarm calls are a sophisticated language that warns every other species in the vicinity that a predator is on the prowl. The Mara is a crowded neighborhood for those at the top. Lions, leopards, and crocodiles often find their territories overlapping. This leads to a fascinating Cold War. Pride of lions might kill a buffalo near the river's edge. Within minutes, the scent of blood draws the crocodiles from the water and a leopard from the trees. These encounters are rarely full-scale battles. They are high-stakes standoffs. A lion knows a crocodile can snap its leg. A crocodile knows a lion can tear its soft underbelly. They snarl, they hiss, and they measure one another. Often, the winner is the one with the most backup or the one with the least to lose. It is a fragile balance, maintained through intimidation. The lion is the only truly social cat. While the leopard is a sniper, the lion is a phalanx. Their dominance is rooted in the pride. A lion's hunt is a masterpiece of coordination. The beaters drive the prey toward the ambushers hidden in the tall grass. They communicate through subtle ear twitches and tail movements. But the life of a lion is not one of constant victory. In fact, most lion hunts fail. They face starvation, injuries from prey, and the constant threat of rival males looking to take over the pride. Their royalty is earned through scars and the relentless protection of their lineage. The African wild dog is the marathon runner of the Mara. They have an 80% success rate in hunting, far higher than lions. Their secret: cooperation. They don't rely on a single killing bite. They overwhelm their prey through persistence hunting, literally running the animal until its heart gives out. The leopard, conversely, is the ghost of the darkness. Solitary and incredibly strong, a leopard's strategy is stealth. It is the only cat that regularly hauls its kills, sometimes twice its own body weight, high into the branches of an acacia tree to protect it from lions and hyenas. The leopard is proof that in a world of giants, the quietest operator often eats the best. As the sun begins to rise, painting the sky in hues of violet and burnt orange, the savanna falls into a strange, holy silence. The night's violence is over. The lions find shade. The crocodiles slip back into the deeps. The herds return to grazing, seemingly unbothered by the fact that some of their number were lost hours ago. This isn't coldness, it is the zen of the wild. If a gazelle lived in a constant state of trauma, it would never eat. The savanna resets every morning. The cycle of life is not a circle, but a spiral moving forward, fueled by the necessity of the hunt and the resilience of the hunted.
You see how deep this track is? This tells us it was a large buffalo, likely heading towards the water.
We watch these struggles and we feel a mix of horror and awe. But these processes are essential. Without the predator, the prey would overpopulate and destroy the land. Without the prey, the predator vanishes. Protecting the Masai Mara is not just about saving cute animals. It is about preserving a complex, ancient wisdom. When we lose a species, we lose a chapter of our own history, for we too were once part of this wild balance. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the wild, please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. It helps us keep these stories alive and brings the magic of the natural world right to your screen.